excited. I'm gonna get my life together. Y'all better not talk about me. No, I am so lit right now, dog.
Watch them grow, perceive, devote. This is the seed, light the show. Watch them grow.
Hello, my Taurian brethren and sisterin. I gotta jump right in because it's super duper weird, okay? So look, in this vicinity, okay, you're gonna see me shuffling the cards. First really weird thing, and you know, these are the cards that are on my desk, but the first really weird thing about that is when I'm shuffling, legit, like, you know, this card, you guys, overall energy, this is about to get so cool. This card, the overall energy for you guys for the month of June just like pops out, right? So I don't know, you might have seen that by now or whatever, but here's the deal of why this is so weird. Because as soon as I went to turn on the camera, right, I just so happened to look across the room on my, no, I'm gonna tell you the exact synchronicity that it happened in. I go to turn on the camera, and then all of a sudden I lost hearing in this ear. So I totally just like got petrified just now. And I was like, what is happening? Because I was like, I don't hear anything out of this ear. And all of a sudden I heard the ringing, right? So that was already something that I was thinking about, because it's a whole bunch of videos that I have to make on my other channels. But I think these, I'll keep y'all posted because I have 2 other channels, by the way. This channel used to be called The Woke Therapist, but I moved that to another channel. And then I have Woke Hub, and Woke Hub is like pretty much my entire staff and videos from me. And then the Woke Therapist channel. And then this is just like tarot stuff or whatever. But long story short, so I'm doing content for both, and it was stuff I was already thinking about. And because so many people have been, like, that I know in real life, have been experiencing the whole ringing in the ears thing, I'm always constantly telling people, like, what left ear, right ear is, and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, I need to totally make a video on that. So anyway, long story short, I go to turn the camera on, I lose hearing, right? Then I hear the ringing, and I was like, what? Right? So I do like this, and when I look at my bookshelf across the room in my office, I have a clock over there, right? And when I look at the clock, it's 3:33, right? And I was like, oh my God, right? So legit, here's the thing, dude, this is so great. So little quick thing, I'm gonna go into depth with this in the video, but if you experience ringing in your ears, depending on what ear it's in, tells you what it is, which is so funny for you guys' overall energy card. Because when I heard ringing in my left ear, your left ear is indicative of physical healing, right? On your right side, whenever you hear ringing in your right ear, that's indicative of emotional healing. But the funny thing is, you guys' overall energy for the month of June is deep cellular healing, right? And I'm super happy that this card came out. And another thing I think is really funny, it's like, you know, we're Taurians and whatnot. But the energy that this card is talking about is the y'all don't talk about me if I pronounce it wrong. I'm from New Orleans. Arcturus energy, right? And I just think it's funny that it sort of kind of sounds like Taurus. Okay, y'all didn't see that happen? That it sort of kind of sounds like Taurus, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that this sucker like popped out like it did, if you need to repeat, I think that video is probably gone by now, but if you need to like rewind that and see that dude, like this sucker was like straight out, right? So anywho, long story short, I'm glad this card came out because, I mean, I don't know, Taurus. Everything about your reading is making me very, very happy. You want to know why? Because your Taurian sister over here, a lot of the themes that I already see popping up in you guys reading are all things that, okay, this piece of hair, are all things that I'm well versed on. So I think it's dope that it's like everything that you guys learn from this reading today is coming from someone who's a double Taurus for all things. My sun and my moon are both in Taurus. So me being able to speak to you from both personal experience, you know what I'm saying, and as your sign, I think like I'm just really excited to do this. So I'm happy this happened this way. But the reason why I was excited about this card is because this is something that I'm really, really big on. So when we talk about deep cellular healing, And those of you who've been with me for a while know that I'm practical, and I like to take all my little woo-woo stuff and put it into, you know, tangible, practical action steps, right? So when we talk about deep cellular healing and the big picture of things, if we toss in a little bit about how spiritual things work, compared to how stuff in 3D works, like things in 3D are seemingly linear, you know what I mean? Like 1 + 1 = 2, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know, everything just kind of goes in a line. If we were to hypothetically compare, you know, the physical realm to the ethereal realm, everything would seem to someone who's still in sensory consciousness that everything in the ethereal realm is backwards. But it's really not. Like, that's the right way. But everything we do here is technically backwards. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. So when we're talking about healing things, it happens in the reverse order than how we're typically conditioned in 3D, if you will. So to get a little bit deeper than this, what we're talking about with deep cellular healing is more or less not trying to get into your cellular structure. It's just more or less, we're not talking about healing from without in, which is the typical approach, right? The way that I like to say it is attempting to sanctify the spirit through the flesh, in so many words, meaning that I'm going running and I'm eating healthy and meditating and I got crystals in my bra, you know? I mean, dudes, if you wear boxer briefs, I don't know if y'all be putting crystals up in y'all boxer briefs or something. I don't know. Just comment below. Let me know what y'all do when y'all wear crystals, because I'm curious. Moving right along, but you're doing all of this stuff as an attempt to change your inner state, right? So I'm trying to use my physical body, right? Or rituals or methods to change my inner state, right? You cannot sanctify the spirit through the flesh. So it's a reverse thing. If you want to truly heal your body, and this is where it gets into my favorite thing, which is metaphysics, right? And this is more or less, and I'm saying, everyone, this is my disclaimer, because I never say to not seek medical advice. If you are dealing with something, please do that by all means. But within this ethos of metaphysical ailments, it's a belief that all ailments in the human body first manifest energetically, right? So often how I always say that, you know, everything that we see in 3D is past tense to the spiritual realm, as in it's a byproduct of what has already existed in the spiritual, you know what I mean? So the same with physical ailments. So it's pretty much the school of thought that, you know, if, let me think of a good example. If I have, and this is hypothetical, y'all, I really got to give a disclaimer with this because I'm about to say heart, you know what I'm saying? But this is all hypothetical, all right? But it's the thought of, like, if you have clogged arteries or a heart attack or something like that, a metaphysician's perspective of that would be that for years, this would be someone who harbored a lot of emotions, right? Like, you didn't express your emotions, and you may have lost someone that you care about, right? And you never allowed yourself to really grieve it. You just held it in. So your heart attacked you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty much what that school of thought says. And that's what we're talking about here, is more or less the physical ailments we feel. This happens a lot. Those of you who are familiar with Seren the Healer, she also does massage therapy, and her and I love talking to her about this because she has so much knowledge into, like, the physical body. I know nothing. I know the brain. I don't know nothing about this little meat suit thing here. You know what I'm saying? But she knows a lot about the physical body in the sense of how it works with massage therapy. And it's always interesting when I hear her speak about it, because I can hear those synchronicities of how an emotional issue ends up showing up, like with tension in your neck, right? That's a person who, you know, deals with anxiety, is under a great deal of stress, so it manifests here. So it's more or less the bigger picture understanding that you're not just your body, like your physical body. You got buku bodies. You got 4, just in case you didn't know. You got 4 bodies to worry about now. But it's understanding how each one of these affects the other in so many words. So I think it's super dope that this came out for you guys, because this, oh, I can't talk. This being your overall energy for the month of June, it lets me know that's pretty much going to be the main theme for you guys is emotional healing. And for some of you, it would be the opposite, where you know, somebody like me, like where you just be neglecting your body. Like you just like, run. I mean, the gym closed. Why would I do that? Like, I got to go outside. Like, hot wings. What? Broccoli? Nah, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are going to be on 2 different sides. But anywho, getting into you guys' cards, how much time was that? I just had to share that, y'all. This is so amazing. That's why I feel like this reading is just about to be really dope. Your central energy for the month is the 3 of Cups. This is challenged by the 9 of Swords. Your past influence that you're coming into June with is the King of Pentacles. Your below energy is the 6 of Pentacles and the I cannot talk. Mercury retrograde in my mouth already. Okay. Above energy is the 5 of Wands and the reverse. And then going ahead, your possibilities for the month and what challenges you guys could potentially be facing going towards July is the Death in the reverse. And at the bottom of you guys' deck is the 7 of Cups. So my friend Taurus, the thought that I had this morning that I shared with my friends, I feel it's not just a princess thing. I totally thought it was a princess thing, but I think that this is a Taurian thing, because I see themes of what my first thoughts were upon waking, which is more or less June is a month for Taurus to reassess as opposed to react to anything, right? Because on the 18th of June, we have Mercury going retrograde. On the 25th, we have Venus coming out of retrograde, going direct. And then on the 21st, I believe, it's the new moon in Cancer, which is of utmost importance, with intention setting for all my intention setters out there. I also want to say for those of you who did the Purpose RX Part 1 webinar, and those of you who want to purchase the toolkits on my website, but there's a whole section in there where we talk about new moon energy, because I did it on the day of the Taurus new moon. And there's a whole section where we talk about that, like how you set intentions and all the different things you incorporate with it. And I think that would be really, really helpful for you guys at this time as well, because this whole month is all about reassessing, but reassessing specifically like your foundation, your values, what's important to you as an individual, right? Like what you value in life. Now, in the bigger picture of things, when we're looking at this King of Pentacles coming into the month of June, if I were to say this in the most 3D sense, this is mismanagement of money, which be happening when Venus be retrograde. You know, that's our mama planet and things, you know what I'm saying? When Venus is retrograde, there's a huge, huge chance. God, and that is really messed up, dog, because now I'm thinking about that with Mercury retrograde. See, when Venus is retrograde, you have a tendency to mismanage your finances, overspend money, and like buy stuff, like make big ticket purchases that you'll later regret. And I'm thinking about big ticket purchases, which, I mean, for me, which is kind of biased, would be like electronics. And I'm thinking about Mercury going retrograde. So there will be like a double whammy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be careful with your money. But other than that, I do see themes with this as well energetically that remind me of, I mean, I've seen Gemini energy throughout all of the readings so far, because pretty much the theme for the whole collective this month, and so the same with you guys, is integration. It's the divine union, the divine marriage of your inner self, your inner wife, I call it, which is your emotional body, and then your physical self, which is your masculine energy. And the thing that I'm seeing is here, you guys are coming into June with a sense of mastery with the King of Pentacles, like regardless of it being reversed. It's like, that's how you stand. This is mastery as an earth sign. You know what I mean? But I feel that your King of Pentacles is reversed, right? Meaning that he's operating out of lower vibrational energy, because with this Nine of Swords, this says to me that there is mindsets, ways of thinking, fear, things of the sort that are siphoning his energy, in so many words, because that's what fear does. You know what I'm saying? It sucks the life out you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel you guys have done the work to get to a point of mastery, but it's this thought space. And that's what this whole reassessment is coming in. Like, there's things that are existing in Taurians' lives at present that need to go, right? Because with your central energy being the Three of Cups, that's a celebratory energy. That means that there's things that are going on in your life where you guys have great people in your life. But with all these reverse cards, and I mean, even with the Death, all these cards are in the reverse. You're above energy, you're below energy. You got your crossing energy, you got death. Like, everything is in reverse. The only upright card you have is the Three of Cups, which is a happy card. So that says to me, especially with this Five of Wands up here in your above energy, we're talking about inner conflict. If we want to know what the inner conflict is about, we look at your deep cellular healing with your task is for this month. And I know it's an emotional thing. There's an incongruence with oneself, which is, again, the whole theme that we've been dealing with all signs in the month of June. So the key is coming to a place of balance. Last month being May, most of, all of our, pretty much, except for, April, Taurus people, but it's birthday month, it's solar return. That's a time of like a reset for all of us, anybody's birthday. It's a time for a reset, a start over, a do-over, setting your intentions for how you want to go forward in this particular year of your birth. You know what I mean? So last month, the end of April and May, for a lot of Taurus people, is challenging. You know what I mean? Just because you're in that transition phase. But I feel this is more or less like a pause, in so many words. Now, this whole thing ending with the Death card, this is a statement for me, because this means that what you guys are doing in the month of June is very, very divinely guided. And what this says to me is that it's an old way of being, this whole antiquated way of going about things, or this perception of yourself that no longer suits you, or bad habits that you have. Like we talked about the money with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, and even the same thing with the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. It's either you're spending too much money. Dude, that's the thing, like, that reminds me of the Aquarian energy, because with Aquarius, so if you have that in your chart, you might want to watch it. But in the Aquarius reading, it was very, very clear to me that Aquarius, and this is something that's very indicative of Taurian people, like I say, because we have a tendency to take on the role of like the strong friend, or being like that rock that everyone in the family relies on. So when people have problems, they go to, your friendly local neighborhood Taurus. You know what I'm saying? And I feel for some of you guys, there's a sense of false responsibility where it's feeling like you're required to take care of other people. For others of you, it's more of a sense of escapism, because with this Nine of Swords, we're talking about the way you feel about yourself. So it's more or less, and actually, this is something I talked about with my assistant too. The other day, I was telling her that many moons ago, when I was just starting on my journey, that I didn't believe in myself at all. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel like I had any type of talents or gifts, or that I had anything to contribute to the world in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So I told her that I found my sense of worth and value in being of use to people. So I could see other people's potential, because I really didn't understand why it was I saw that. I just was like, I'm just supposed to help people be great. You know what I'm saying? Princess not supposed to be great. Other people supposed to be great. So I fashioned my life of being like a professional right-hand woman to people, right? So my whole thing was like being that person that made everyone great, but nothing about me. Like, I don't want any credit for this, da 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 type of deal, right? And this is the same kind of energy that I see here on the other side of that. Because like I said, on the more tangible side, it's those of you where it's a false responsibility that you're taking financially with either spending your money like crazy or, you know, taking care of other people with your money and not yourself. But on the other side, it's more of an energetic thing where it's a lack thereof of a belief in oneself or your own ability, or feeling that you don't have something to contribute, a lot like how I was telling my assistant that I felt. And it's putting all of your time, energy, effort, resources into building other people up and not doing that for yourself, right? And not because it's just like, oh, you know, I'm so selfless. Nah, it's legit because you don't believe that you can achieve or accomplish that. And I feel it's coming to a head now because it's like a sense of you denying yourself or denying your truth or your path. And I feel that's why that's manifesting as anxiety. So even though things in your life, like you may have friends and like a support system and, you know, a reason to be happy, or, I mean, you guys could really be in a really great place. You could be in a great place financially, a really dope place in your life. But for some reason, you just can't figure out why you're not happy, right? Or another way I could look at this too is diminishing your accomplishments. Because if we looked at this just as a self-perspective kind of thing, this would be one of those cognitive distortions, they're called, where when you achieve something, you diminish your achievement, where you say, whoa, okay. Dang, all right. I just heard something. I'm gonna say that if I could just get a sticky note, Spirit, and I could just finish my thought. Okay. Dang, I think I lost my train of thought. I might really have to go with what it is that I just heard. Okay. Yeah, okay. No, cognitive distortions. So with cognitive distortions, there's a maladaptive thought process where you diminish your accomplishments, where you can achieve something and you'll say like, oh, you know, I just got lucky. Or, oh, you know, they just felt sorry for me. Like, oh, you know, you passed that exam. It's like, oh, you know, they felt sorry for me. You got that promotion. It's like, oh, you know, they felt bad for me. And it's like, oh, it's no big deal. So it's like self-deprecating in a sense, but that's more or less a mindset thing. And that's why I say cognitive distortion, because it's a distortion in your thoughts, not mental illness. It's just, you know, we all have maladaptive thoughts and things of the sort. So it's more or less diminishing your accomplishments. So you should be excited right now about something that you've accomplished, but you can't allow yourself, because it's good, but it's not good enough. You know what I mean? Or even if it's like, I don't know, you launch a business or, you know, you took a board exam, because, you know, this is rounding about with school. You graduated or you took a board exam, you took the bar or whatever, and you passed, right? But your score wasn't, you know, top tier, but you passed. And it's like not allowing yourself to celebrate because you didn't do as good as you felt you should have. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the kind of vibe I get. Now, the thing that Spirit said, and this is so interesting because I was supposed to put this out, I just never did, is I wrote a whole manifesto on spiritual attack, right? And what I'm seeing with this, like when I was talking about those cognitive distortions, this is spiritual attack. And this is another conversation I had with my assistant and with my mentorship group, where I talked about higher vibe thoughts and lower vibe thoughts. Anything that's fear-based is not a message from Spirit. That's just real. You know what I'm saying? Spirit will convict you on something. Like, say if you're like jacking up, you know what I'm saying? If you get an intuitive message of something that you're doing is incongruent with you or out of alignment, you're going to be like, ooh, I do that. But you're not going to feel downtrodden. You're not going to feel like beating yourself up and like, I'm such a failure. Like, you're not going to feel like that. If you get messages like that, whether it's intuitively or if it's someone that's speaking to you and it's something that you leave from that person, or hearing whatever it is you hear intuitively, feeling downtrodden, feeling like a horrible human being and you can't do anything right, that's not spirit speaking. That's a lower vibrational energy that's speaking, because anything that we hear, even though it may trigger us or it may, you know, be like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's the fact that you're going to feel empowered to do something about it and not helpless to do something about it, if that's making sense. So that's what I'm seeing here. And I did this whole thing, and I'm going to put it in video form, where I pretty much talked about the entire process. Wow, this is so funny. Because that's exactly, oh my gosh. Okay. My assistant going to laugh when she sees this. Because, oh my gosh, this is legit, Cece, what happened with me. Like, remember that whole night? Girl, we gonna talk about it. Anyway, but this is legit, like, oh my gosh, so on point of exactly why it is I wrote the manifesto in the first place. I totally get it. I totally understand this. So anywho, this month for Taurus, y'all, I'm all over the place because I'm just so bucked up and I feel like I want to say so much to y'all because I have so much to give to you. But this reading already way too damn long. But dude, like, this is so real. Like, this is a revolutionary month for you guys, because this death in the reverse, this is screaming change. This being a major arcana says that change will occur this month. Everything that's imbalanced, everything that's incongruent, all of these things are going to be sucked from you this month. Because I said, much like the eclipse energy was almost the equivalent of getting bit by a snake and someone sucking the venom out of the wound, that's exactly what's happening with Taurus in the month of June. It's like this venom, this old belief system, these bad habits, you know what I'm saying? All of this. And I feel it's very much an inner thing. But like I said, for some of you, it's, you know, because even if we talk about mismanaging finances, that's still not an external issue. That's still very much an inner issue. You know what I mean? That's still a thing mental. You know what I mean? That's still a thing emotional, because there's mental and emotional implications that influence your behavior, because behavior is only a byproduct of your inner state. So really, you know what I'm saying? We're still talking about doing inner work that's going to manifest externally in the bigger scheme of things. Yo, I could go so deep on this read. This extended about to be so lit, dog. See stuff like this? I love this. Like, when we talk about transforming your life, Taurus, like, everything I see here, and I'm just trying to like touch a little bit with each thing, but everything I see here, dude, this is like the exact process that I used to revolutionize my own life, to change my own life, to finally know what it's like to be happy and at peace, and to feel a sense of purpose and meaning, and to wake up every day and not feel like, you know, FML. You know what I'm saying? So I feel for June, for you guys, like I talked about in my other video on Woke Hub, how June is a turning point. Like, I feel bigger than any of you guys could even fathom. This is an epic course correction for Taurus in the month of June. And you have a lot of options, like with your overall energy, of paths that you guys can take. But that is exactly why this month needs to be all about a very practical reassessment of everything, every facet of your life, of what's working and what's not working. And I am here to help you guys do that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Because, oh my God, this is just, I just can't. I'm just excited. Okay, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to go to the extended, y'all, on YouTube members, Patreon website, and Vimeo for the extended. So if you bought that life, I had to think about that for a second. If you bought that life, follow me over there. And if not, that's totally cool. But if you want the other information on this stuff, make sure you subscribe to Woke Hub and to the Woke Therapist, because the videos, all the videos I've talked to y'all about, I'm kind of separating those between those two. So keep an eye out for that. So subscribe to both of those. I'll put the link below. But yeah, let's go over to the, I cannot talk. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm gonna get my life together. Y'all better not talk about me. No, I am so lit right now, dog. Okay, we're gonna go to the extended. I love your face. I'll talk to you guys sooner than later too. So it's a new energetic cycle that you can use this energy to benefit you. it's giving you a time frame in which this transition for you all occurs. This is gonna extend out until September.